By our, I mean the people who want to change and make it more sustainable. This is, if you cap this, it means that as the demand goes up, the prices are going to go up because the supply is not going to go up. If the demand goes up, supply doesn't go up, the prices go up. When the prices go up, what happens? All of those other ones, then these come into price range. Then venture capital is going to be attractive. Then new innovation is going to happen. A few things to think about. Principles for energy policy. What we have to do. I would like you to, for your own good, if you take anything out of my talk and my sharing of my thoughts with you today, think about these. What we can do to reduce our exposure. Well, we have to diversify supply source and type. We have to buy insurance against disruption. We have oil reserves for 7 months. We can do all kinds of things if we want. We don't need to be scared. And technological flexibility. The way that we're doing is not working. I'm going to leave you with one thought. Our transportation system was designed for an agrarian industrial society where people had to go to places to work. Now the work can come to people. Henry Ford, when he had his factory, he couldn't take his assembly line to all the workers in Dearborn, Michigan. He had to bring them to work. All of you now, you could have been sitting in your own homes, looking at your computer screen, and having the same conversation. Office where I work, 3,000 people are coming to office every day. As soon as they get in the office, what do? They turn their computer on, they get on their phone, and they have a fax machine. They have all that stuff in their homes. Our business culture and our management paradigm, our labor laws need to change. We need to take people from cars to their computers. There is no reason to move millions of people across landscape the same way they used to do in the agrarian society economy and in the industrial technology, industrial era. We have to rethink. If we don't have sustainable transportation, we cannot fix it only on the supply side. We have to fix it on the demand side. We have to get people out of their cars into the computers. And this is a cultural challenge, it's an adaptation, and it's you heard what happened in Yahoo, right? You heard what happened in Yahoo? The lady who became CEO, because Yahoo had a very flexible schedule. They're all computer geeks, all they use computer, and they all used to work from home. And she came and she said, no more work from home. She said, no, you have to come to office. Because she realized that there's not a company, there's not a team, there's business culture adaptation, that people need to learn that you don't need to be in the same geographic location to be a team. It's challenged, but that any discussion about sustainability in transportation without seriously looking at moving from cars to computers is really not going to achieve the objective. And for you as the new generation, you have no excuse. If you try to ignore the problem, it's your choice. The information is out there. I just exposed you to the surface of the challenge. You have a challenge, but you have a lot of opportunities because you have the human ingenuity, you have the capital ventures behind you and all that stuff. And you cannot be ignorant. This is my favorite picture. Read that and let me know if you know where, if anyone says that, he's going to get the whole bag of goodies. What do you think they're talking about? This is a real historic picture.
Prohibition.
Who said that? Ah, you're going to get the whole bag. I don't need the whole bag. I do too. Because at least somebody who knows American history. This is a real picture from the Prohibition. Now if you tell me what year the Prohibition was in effect, I'll give you the whole bag. No, this part, go ahead.
Prohibition was when they banned alcohol. So a lot of women were against it because the men would come home drunk and sometimes they would beat their wives or didn't take care of their family. So they were, banned.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect reason. Actually, the women were the forefront of the Prohibition movement because men would get drunk and they would come home and they would beat them. So they said, no, we don't sell alcohol. But the reason that I put it there is that it was our social policy, it was our law, it was our culture, it was all kinds of stuff. And there were some people, I'm not making judgment about the proper use of alcohol or should it be legal or not. But there were a group of people who said, lips that touch liquor shall not touch ours. Never prohibition. There were people that when we wanted to end segregation, George Wallace in Alabama, said, segregation now, segregation forever, over my dead body and all that, right? There are people who will always resist social change. You shouldn't be afraid of them. You should not be part of them, hopefully. And we should realize, this is Mark Twain's sentence that says, a habit cannot be tossed out the window. It must be coaxed down the stairs step at a time. We have to take this a step at a time, but eventually this will change. Same way that prohibition changed. We are going to change our culture about doing work. We're going to change our culture about fuel. We're going to change our culture about cars, whether school was acceptable or not. And that's my contact information.